Alright, hello and welcome to the weather update. It's around 8 o'clock on September 23rd, 2020. And we're looking at a satellite here showing all the storms, basically. That's what's left of Beta. And this is Teddy, which hit Nova Scotia this morning. And fortunately, has not caused too much. According to this article from the CBC, it made landfall over 2 hours ahead of schedule, and they said it really wasn't too bad. The former Hurricane Teddy arrived in Nova Scotia as a post-tropical storm on Wednesday, bringing plenty of wind and rain for the province, but paling in comparison to previous storms. So it picked speed, and it picked up speed, and it moved out. It moved out of there quickly. And this is the satellite from earlier today, the high-resolution satellite. And you can see here that here's Teddy. All right, and it really the worst part of it stayed over the ocean. So that is the important thing. Now I don't know about Newfoundland, but I would imagine they're probably not going to get. It's weakened considerably, and it's really just a post-tropical storm at this point. If we go to the National Hurricane Center, there's Beta, what's left of Beta, and this is post-tropical storm Teddy. It's probably going to finish wrapping up the advisories for Teddy fairly soon. Let's get the latest. So the latest one as of 8 p.m. Teddy moving parallel to the west coast of Newfoundland, still likely to produce dangerous waves and strong gusty winds across southwestern Newfoundland. So as of 8 p.m. it's 49.7 north, 59.2 west, about 150 miles north-northeast of Port aux Basques, Newfoundland. Maximum sustained winds are 50 miles an hour, and it's moving north-northeast at 31 miles an hour. Minimum central pressure, 975 millibars, or 28.80 inches. So it's moving away, and it's really become an extratropical storm at this point. It's lost most of its tropical characteristics. And we can say goodbye to Teddy. And this is what's left of Alpha, which is still stuck in this area here, still dealing with the rain in this area. We're trying to move this along. As far as the smoke goes today, there was some smoke around. Not terrible, but there was some. You could see some in the atmosphere looking at some of these pictures. However, this one was later in the afternoon, and it looked like there was less smoke as it got toward the later in the afternoon. And I noticed toward the later, especially toward the evening, the sky did look better. It wasn't quite as hazy as it was. But it was a very warm day today. So let's take a look at the current temperatures around the area here. Right now on this. So temperatures are still in the low 70s, a lot warmer than it has been. Northwest winds, however, I noticed West Hampton has dropped to 61, so they must be getting some radiational cooling or a sea breeze, perhaps. Yeah, there might be a sea breeze over here on the east end that's cooled them off, but for the most part there is no sea breeze. We got temperatures in the low to mid 70s right now. Though it is dropping off here, it must be radiational cooling, I guess. Miller Air Park's down to 63. The air is still dry, so I guess that's what it is. So let's take a look at the high temperatures today, because it did get, I think it did hit the 80s today. Not mistaken. Yeah, it was around 80. Let's see. Farmingdale got up to 81. 80 in Carl Place. North Shore was a little cooler, upper 70s. South Shore was actually hotter. And let's look at Islip here. Islip hit 81, so Islip got up to 81 too. West Hampton got up, so it was very warm today. Probably about 10 degrees above normal. So it was quite warm today. Let's look further west. Let's see what the city got to. 79 in Central Park, oddly enough. Cooler there. LaGuardia hit 80. JFK hit 80. And then we go into New Jersey. Let's see what they got up to. 81 and 80 in Toms River. So just as hot there as here, because again, not much of a sea breeze today to really cool anyone off, and that's why we're dealing with that. So let me go back to the observations, and we're going to look at some of the observations from up north. See what's going on up there as far as the waves go. So these are some of the observations from up north, and they did have about 30, I think 30 when I checked the map. It was like 30 or 40,000 power outages. A lot, but not as devastating as it could have been. And they restored the power pretty quickly, actually. Most of those outages have been fixed already. So Nova Scotia Power is a pretty good electric company. So let's see. This buoy here has still got some winds. Let's see. The seas are down at 12.5 feet, which is good. Let's see this one. The seas, oh yeah, that's Sable Island. They're not going to have a sea report. Still got 19-foot, 20-foot waves over there. Um, looks like the worst of the wind is now in Newfoundland, so that's where they're getting some of the wind now. And I just threw the dew points in to show the moisture. Look at this. Well, the St. John's has a wind gust to 60. Oh no, it's the dew point. My mistake. Wind gust is 36. Wind gust here is 45. So it's not too bad right now. It's definitely calmed down a lot from what it was, and we're very fortunate that Teddy moved along, took the track it did, sparing the east side of the storm, stayed over the ocean, and also the cold water around Newfoundland generally weakens. It's almost like a little force field they have. If I can draw this out, almost like a little, there's like cool water all around this, probably around like over here, north of this line. Right there's cool water. So once the storm moves over this, it acts like it's like a force field. It's a good amount of cool water. So even if the storm is moving at a decent rate, it's still going to weaken pretty quickly. Unfortunately, this is called the Labrador current. This current that comes down here. Unfortunately, it doesn't really make it down to our area. I wish it would. If we had the Labrador current going down into our climate, it would be much cooler. That would be great. We're already changing the climate. Let's cool off our area. But anyway, that's pretty much it with Teddy, and that's pretty much it with the tropics. So we're gonna go to the models now and take a look and see what we have coming up. And fortunately, like I said, we are not going to be dealing with too much tropical activity after this. Things are quieting down, and we can get a much-needed break after weeks of insanity. So let's go look at the upper air, and I'm going to change this to the... Yeah, we'll keep it on the CONUS. That's fine. So here's the trough leaving us, and we're going to have a ridge developing, which means we're already starting to see that ridge develop, so it's going to be warmer, and we're going to be above normal. We're going to be remaining above normal until this trough can get here next week, and the only problem is where it sits. We're on the right side of the trough, not on the left side. So if we're on the right side, that means that instead of getting the nice cool air, cool flow, the cool dry flow, we're going to be getting the warmer flow. So if you're on the right side of the trough, you're going to be getting the warmer flow, and the fronts tend to stall out when you have this. They tend to stall out right over here, and that's what we're going to see. We're going to see the fronts kind of just get hung up, perhaps with this kind of pattern, which doesn't really bode well if you want to have nice clear skies. Fortunately, it's just the way the trough sets up. So we move it along here, and that trough kind of sits there, and then it finally starts moving east again. And the good news is there is troughiness in the east. We just got to get that trough in the right spot so we can get the right flow. But at least we're not dealing with a huge ridge, so I guess it could be worse. So let's go to the surface now. Yeah, I'm at the... whoops, my mistake. Oh yeah, right. You see, this is the universe's way of telling me to look at the euro, because I didn't. Okay. So again, similar idea here, pretty much. See that big trough there that comes in, especially as we get into the first weekend of October. So let's go back to GFS, and we'll look at the surface. So that's what's left of that depression. You can see the high pressure kind of sets off up offshore, so it gives us this return southwest flow that we're going to be dealing with, keeping us above normal, and the skies probably won't be all that great either. And as far as rain goes, though, you'll see that we stay fairly dry until maybe Sunday. We'll see some scattered rain activity, and then the next chance for rain would be this frontal system that comes through. Monday night to Tuesday night. Remember, we've hardly had any rain. We're very dry. We need rain badly. And then after that, hopefully that front pushes through. You see there's like a cutoff flow, and then the clear air, this high kind of just sits over here. And hopefully maybe as we get into October, we can get into some of that clear air. It looks like it's trying to form something over there, perhaps. So we'll have to keep that. That's well in the long range, but We're not done yet. It will ramp up again, but it's going to calm down at least for a little bit this week. Um, so let's go into our area, and we'll first start with the temperatures. So here's tomorrow's temperatures, and it will be in the upper 70s to probably 80. It was warmer today than predicted, so it could be 80 again. It depends if we see a sea breeze or not. We'll have to look at um, the wind direction for that. And it'll be near 80 again on Friday, so we're going to be above normal. Saturday it's a little cooler, and then Sunday we heat up again. Could be low 80s, and then one more warm day, and then we try to get this front through. And you can see what happens though; it gets hung up. Tuesday we're dealing with the stall front syndrome, and we may still be dealing with it on Wednesday too. You can see we got cooler air back off to the west, but we got to deal with the stall front. And look, it just sits over us. We have to literally wait all week for this thing just to push through. And like I explained to you, with the way that trough is set up, it kind of lends itself to stall front syndrome because the flow aloft will be from the southwest and not from the west or northwest, which is the way we want it. So let's go look at the dew points. So here we go for tomorrow. We still have kind of a light westerly flow. Maybe there'll be a sea breeze in the afternoon. I'm thinking there will be. So, but it's still probably going to hit 80 tomorrow, and then same thing for Friday. Well, Friday may be a little more of a sea breeze. Looks like the good news is the dew points don't get too high until the weekend, and then we start seeing the dew points rise up into the low 60s with a south flow. At least that'll mean more of a sea breeze, so it'll keep the temperatures down. Here's that front. You can clearly see. Here's Monday. We're dealing with that front slowly approaching, very strong south flow, but you'll see the front barely gets offshore. It stalls out, so we get some drier air coming in on Tuesday, but then another wave forms along it, and then Wednesday we got another wave, and then you see, and then maybe we can clear it out as we get in October. But again, we're going to be dealing with a lot of stall front syndrome. We've had, like I said, we've had a lot of sunny, dry days, so we're going to pay for it. You know the way it goes. So next thing we'll do is look at the cloud cover, I guess. So tomorrow we're going to have plenty of cloud cover, mostly high cloud cover, and then Friday, similar thing. We thought we would get this would be further to the south. The GFS says it won't. We'll have to see what happens with that. But if it is further south, then we'll have a clear day. If not, then we're not. Here's Saturday, a few clouds. It's not going to be nice blue sky. We're going to be dealing with a lot of clouds, unfortunately. And then here comes that front again. It gets kind of hung up. Maybe we can have a sunny day on Tuesday, maybe, I don't know. But then you can see it just gets hung up, and then maybe Thursday, the first day of October, we can clear it out and have a clear day, maybe then. We'll have to see, though. It's going to take a little while for that front to move through. It will get through, but you're going to have to be patient, pretty much. Let me look at the NAM as far as the sky cover goes. Sometimes the GFS can overdo the clouds, but I think it's the same deal with the NAM, unfortunately. Lots of clouds for Thursday, and a decent amount of clouds probably for Friday. Originally, we thought this would be further to the south, but right now it does not look like we're going to get that to go to the south, unfortunately. So I think that's going to wrap up this weather update, and I'm taking a break from the weather update tomorrow. We'll do one the Friday night, probably. So with everything going on, I need a break. Joe Chaffee isn't even doing his weather thing today, so but I figured I'd update you anyway. But I need a break too, because it's just been crazy with the atmosphere, and finally it's calmed down enough that we can take a break and just relax for a little bit before the next tropical system ramps up. Anyway, that's going to be it for this weather update. Take care.